Oh, I've been mute the whole time. I'm so sorry. All right. Can you all hear me now? Oh, I've been mute the whole time. I'm so sorry. All right. Can you all hear me now? Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. I'm in business. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I had to work out my little kinks real quick. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I hope your day has been going well. Um, like I was saying when I was mute, this will be my first live stream without actually streaming a live on this channel. I do go live, but over on my other channel. But I have been needing to go live to address some of this. I know previously, like a few days ago, I told y'all I've been had my channel over here. I've always watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, but as much as I wanted to give my perspective and share my theories and give the wisdom that God has placed in me pertaining to Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's just been extreme. It's been a tug inside me. I wanted to, but then I couldn't because for me, I want to be able to bring content that will I can settle on the best part of the cast, or I can leave with a pleasant message. It's just that everything around Love and Marriage Huntsville has been so toxic for me, I've been unable to like get the creative energy flowing or just to be in the mood to come over here and bring Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I want to say thank you for being here. Um, it might seem like I'm a little late to the party with this Love and Marriage Huntsville subject matter. Actually, I'm not. I just do not like toxic situations. And everything around Love and Marriage Huntsville has been extremely toxic. Melanie has been the only bright side of that show. She is the only thing that brings light, life, and wisdom and understanding and black excellence to Love and Marriage Huntsville. And not to say that I still couldn't bring the content, but I'm just excited to come to you all in this season with Keeping Up with Melody Cherie because she is on to the next. I am excited to follow her as an entrepreneur. I'm still excited to follow her as a philanthropist, as a community as she served the community, and all of her endeavors outside of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, with that being said, I would like to come to you all with my thoughts, my opinions, my perspective on the conclusion on how I wrap all this stuff up and just what has happened recently. I want to say my commentary would be, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, and some of the statements are alleged. So please bear with me. And if you all would like to come up as well, I am more than happy to share my link and the space with you so that you can come up on the panel to give your take as well. And as my title says, misery meet company. I am talking about the Destiny and the Tisha. Okay, misery and company. And you all, what happens when you have two people that form a friendship over negativity? It is what we have seen happen recently with these recent allegations and the cut footage. The footage has that was supposed to be on the cutting room floor, but still ended up getting leaked. So, before I begin, if you all could just bear with me, before I begin, I would like to share some guidance on the effects of envy and jealousy. I think that this is wise guidance, and everyone can learn something from it. Give me one moment.
Envy is one of the worst kinds of spiritual diseases. Any one of us who have some gift or quality that others wish they had or want, it is so sad that people will literally hate you for what only God could give you. An envious person is really a devil, no matter what the color of the skin. If your heart is poisoned with the disease of envy, you have become in your person a devil. Why is that? Because you or those who are afflicted with that disease are not just hateful of the person whom they envy, but they are hateful of the God who gave that person that which they have, for which they are being envied. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that an envious person is the worst kind of person. That's a devil. Because an envious person will kill you. Now, that makes you a devil. Because if God is the giver of life and the giver of gifts, and someone is envious of you because of some gift that God gave you, and that envy reaches the point where it becomes hatred, and then hatred gives way to murder, then that person who would rob you of the life that God gave you because of a gift that God gave you, that's the worst kind of human being.
There we have it. Thank y'all so much for hanging in there. You heard it directly from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Envy, an envious and jealous person is the worst kind of person. They are jealous of you because of the gift that God gave you. Welcome, Jen J. Welcome. I appreciate you for being here, sis. And so, with that, when people are jealous of you for your gifts and talents that God gave you, they will do anything to try to get rid of you because they desire your gift. And what they don't understand is you're not the giver of the gift that you have. So, the envy can get so deep, so they will try to destroy you by any means necessary, including death. And that is what we were able to witness with all of the attacks on Melody Cherie because she is indeed a gifted person. If we all are honest and have been following her for quite some time, from the very first day she got on camera, we know this young lady is gifted. She's talented. She's blessed. She's a lot of things. So it saddens me. It really saddens me to know that she has done so much for so many, and they return the favor by being just very unkind people. And that's me saying, putting it nicely, as unkind people. I mean, for those, I'm not going to give too much history. I would just say, if you can't keep up, go back and find Love and Marriage Huntsville season 1 and look at it from the beginning. I will start with LaTisha Scott. LaTisha Scott is a part of a sorority because of Melody. Melody pinned her in. Melody encouraged her. Melody supported her and vouched for her to join the grad chapter and became her sister. And it's a shame that because of the love of fame and not even money, because to my understanding, they don't even get paid much to be on the show. But because of envy and jealousy, we saw LaTisha for seasons upon seasons do the most darkest things to Melody Cherie. And which, when I go to my title and I said, LaTisha Scott is a terrible sister. And those of you who recognize the colors, you understand what that means. What happened to the oath of sisterhood? What happened to why you wanted to join the sorority? What happened to paying homage to the sister that helped you cross over the line? I, for one, cannot understand how a sister, somebody that I helped, you know what I mean? And it's not even about me, but I can't imagine someone turning so dark and not even giving thanks and plotting to end this woman's legacy because you want to be famous or you want to be the face. This is why I say I don't know who you all have to call and write a letter to, but Letitia's actions toward Melody Cherie on a public platform are inexcusable. She should be called to the carpet to answer a lot of things before the council. And I say she should be removed because she is not a sister. That is not sisterly. She said the meanest things about somebody in her sorority. She is. She's a horrible sister. And it would be hard for me to be in the same room with her if I was the same, but that's very hurtful. Very hurtful. And I think for the most part, that's what made me not want to come over here and do lives, because I want to uplift women. I want to encourage Black women. But it was just hard for me to do Love and Marriage Huntsville content because I didn't see good sisters over there. I didn't see women being kind to each other. But I saw Melanie doing everything, just like trying to give her all to people who didn't even want her there, including her sister. Here, I want to draw y'all attention back to um Real Housewives of Potomac. On the Real Housewives of Potomac, you have Wendy and you have Giselle. They are also sorority sisters. Same colors that you all see in the title, right? But they were, I guess, for a good 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons, they did not get along at all. But there was a come together. There was a meeting that was had with Giselle and Wendy. Now, you all ain't got to be friends, but for the sake of the sisterhood, we need for you all to show civility on that show. And then next thing you know, you'll see, I think for maybe the past 2 seasons, Wendy and Giselle have been very civil. They have not been attacking each other. And it was more so Giselle towards Wendy, not when Wendy was just responding, reacting to the mess that Giselle was putting down. But for the sake of sisterhood and for the sake of women being around each other, it was just necessary for them to show a united front. Again, you don't have to be friends, but show a united front because everybody knows that you all are part of the same sorority. Everybody knows that. Be civil to each other on camera. And that's all the ask was. And guess what? We got a civil Wendy and Giselle over on Real Housewives of Potomac. But for some reason, and I don't believe it was because of Melody, but for some reason, that could not happen over on Love and Marriage Huntsville between Melody and LaTisha. I think Melody was very open to be civil, friendly, and kind to LaTisha. They have history. But for the life of LaTisha, and for all of the envy and jealousy and mean and dark things that exist inside her, her insecurities, she could not be a sister to Melody on that show to show civility. And I hate it for their sorority, their sisterhood. I hate that other young women have to witness stuff like this because this is not where we are right now, ladies. I don't know whether 92% at in this room, 92%, but we are definitely resting in our 92%. This is not a time for Black women to be at war with each other. We are always the last on everybody's list. The last getting a raise, the last being protected, the last being respected. We are always the last. We cannot afford in the sisterhood of Black women on any level to attack one another and to be at odds with one another. We can't do that. So, for the life of me, and I'm pleading us, no matter how hard it is, I know things happen, things come up, and people provoke us. They do. But we have to remember that our mission, what we're here for, is bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. So, I don't know what LaTisha has who convinced her? I mean, I know her mom is not a college educated woman. I know that. So her mom can't refer to her and tell her how to move forward with building and cultivating a relationship with her sister in public. No, Wanda can't give that kind of advice, honey. So she was just misguided all the way around. Somebody should have told her how to get a hold of her insecurities. And as women, I think that sometimes we get so insecure about other women showing up in spaces. That's not necessary. Be your own kind of beautiful. All of us have some beauty in us that makes us unique, different, special, and great, right? So I don't know what insecurities Letitia was dealing with and why she just could not be kind to Melody. But I guess from the outside looking in, um, I'm like, she had a lot of inner work to do for herself. Yes, she was also horrible to her cousin. Horrible to her cousin on camera. So that's why I had to show y'all the where I am when it comes to knowing and how to maneuver around and throughout jealousy and envy because it jealousy and envy is an actual disease. A disease. And when you're dealing with a disease of the heart, the only person can fix you and cure you is God. For those of us who believe in God. If you ever meet somebody who's an atheist, honey, they say they don't believe in God, just know you're going to get everything. So with Letitia, I don't know what her spiritual foundation is. I don't know how she interprets scriptures. I don't know. But it's like dealing with Letitia, you could not, there was no common ground. None at all. You couldn't go to her with the word of God. You couldn't go to her with common sense. You couldn't go to her with principles of 48 laws of power. You couldn't even, she wouldn't even come to the table with Melody on the principles and the rules of their sorority. So the only thing she is just a devil. We have to get out of thinking that a devil is going to show up in this red costume with a tail and breathing fire. No, devil shows up in actual people. And Melody Cherie was surrounded by them. God bless her. Because she was over there fighting demons and devils every time she came in contact with them people. So thank you all for joining. I see that we have like 46 people here. If you can go ahead and tap the like button, I would love that encouragement and that engagement. Thank you. And don't be afraid to get in the chat and join the conversation. Let's talk about um how we should look at sisterhood moving forward. Unfortunately, some people are not mentally capable of pouring into others or accepting grace or accepting guidance and advice and love. Some people have never had love in their life, so they don't know how to accept that. And when you find those people, in my opinion, you find the two ladies on my thumbnail, Destiny and LaTisha. All they know is hate. All they know is negativity. All they know is low vibrational things. So it's like, as women, when we have our friend circles and we have our sisterhood, and new people are trying to be a part of it, it's like, okay, now we see why people are guarded. I'm gonna tell y'all honestly, watching Love and Marriage Huntsville has pushed me in such a guarded place when it comes to dealing with new people, and maybe assessing the ones that I'm around, because if people seeing what Destiny did to Melody Cherie, just telling bold-faced lies, trying to ruin this woman's whole image, accusing her of grooming, that is detrimental to anybody's career, anybody's profession, their image. Once it's out there, now you can't take away what people have in the forefront of their mind now. And the thing about having things like that said about you, even if you take it back, it's a hard hit. A lie travels harder than travels further and harder than the truth. And Destiny knows she was telling a bold faced lie. But when it all comes out, when we do the 360 and about 2, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, a month from now, she's gonna feel bad for what she did, maybe. But her backtrack is not going to hit as hard as her lie, as her initial lie. That was a hard hit. And I pray that Melody is protected. I pray that she's able to recover from all of this slander and defamation, because that's exactly what it was. But we know, many of us that support Melody Cherie, we know what it was. We know why it happened. And many of us aren't going anywhere because we understand. We understand what happened and who was pulling the strings. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you. So, like I said in the beginning, if you would like to come up and we can have this conversation on how to continue to cultivate sisterhood. If my question is, if you came across somebody that exhibited these dark traits, very dark traits that Destiny and LaTisha showed us in the show, would you keep them in your circle? Would you try to help them? At this point, at a certain age, I feel like some people just are who they are. And I am definitely in the season where I distance myself from foolishness. So I won't stop nobody else from helping a sister out. But depending on what the issues are, I'm gonna fall back. That's just me. That may not be how you would maneuver and handle that situation. But for me and all and what who I know I am, I can't sit and exist around stuff like that. Mean women, old mean women. Trust me, I have my experience with some old mean women. And the worst type of old mean woman is a woman that likes to talk God on one side and be nasty out her mouth in the next. I that I've had my share of that. But I'm just so like taken back. Like I said, I couldn't really do this because I was so emotional about everything that was happening that I didn't think that I can come to you all without cussing the whole cast out. I'm just being honest. I didn't think that I could come over here and talk about this show without having to drop a few words that I was not I didn't want to share that over here. So but like I said, I'm here now. I'm here now and I'm happy to be here. And as for Destiny, I know she's going to try to excuse herself and go into her victimhood as to why she decided to defame and slander another woman in the way that she did, but there's no excuse. She has to be held accountable for this. And I hope and pray that Melody will follow through with every action to hold people accountable for what they did and what was allowed. And I hope that she leaves no stone unturned. I hope that everybody who's responsible for colluding and and defaming her character and slandering her and trying to tear apart her legacy, I pray that they get not just the lawsuit that's coming to them, but I pray that God handles them as well because vengeance is mine, said the Lord. And trust me, nobody gets away. Nobody. So in this case, like I say, for people that understand family values, for people that understand family dynamics, and when we're talking about the behavior of others, right? The behavior was so diabolical and sickening on the show of Love and Marriage Huntsville and the reunions. And sometimes, and when I say it's sickening to the point that you have the parents of the jealous and envious women, the bitter women, even their parents were being very nasty and lack decorum. It's like your child's manners say more about you as a parent than how fly you dress them. Let's forget about how they dress. But when you see somebody as other than themselves, especially women, for me, I just think I'm like, wow, interesting, you know, because then you expect, you know, to see a civil parent, a classy person, but no, your children, like I know I was raised, your children reflect you. So Destiny, we know she said that she was in foster care. That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. But even being in foster care, one would assume that the ball was dropped on her when it came to core values. But that's still not an excuse. You're a you're an intelligent adult right now. So why can't you do something different? Okay? For LaTisha, all of us have been introduced to her mom. And if I was LaTisha, I would never, ever, ever want nobody to know who my that was my mama. I'm serious. If there ever was a time to separate yourself and disown your parent, Wanda is that person that I think LaTisha just feels bad that she has the mother that she has, honestly. For real. Uh-uh. I can't do it. I would never mom, can you she would she not only does she and support the things that her mother does and says, she encourages it. And that is just foolishness to me. I believe she is done with them. I believe she is done with them because by the time they receive that lawsuit, honey, they're going to be trying to find something. Baby, I'll be suing. That lawsuit will be so thick, it will be suing their children. Out there will be liens on everybody' property, even the old dusty Buicks in the backyard. Everybody will have a lien because if you cannot repay me for my pain, everything. The male is going to own real estate all over Huntsville, and not because she's a great person and she owns that 48, 47 acres, but because the lawsuit that she gives is going to repossess everything that they own because we know they don't have the financial capability to um sustain a lawsuit of this magnitude. I'm just saying, don't lie on me. And not in that way. They didn't just lie on her. They defamed her, they slandered her, they came for every single thing that she stands for. Listen, well, if she can't control her mother should have never, even after the first season, she should have never had her mama back. She should have never had her mother back, in my opinion. But I thank y'all for being here, though. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to put the link inside the chat. If you all want to come up and let's discuss this in detail, that would be great. I do welcome the company. Also, I just want to make a request as well that if you are watching me right now, can you do me a favor and share this live stream? As we're about to open up the panel, we would love to have more people in the room to share their perspectives, their theories, their opinions, and to have a broader conversation on um, the effects of people like a miserable destiny in a bitter tissue, LaTisha. I honestly I cannot diagnose what their actual issues are, but they have some things that are actually wrong with them. And it's like at some point you should say to yourself, okay, I'm not gonna do no more. I done did enough. Enough is enough. But no, that wasn't enough for Destiny. She decided to say on national TV while it was being recorded and accuse somebody of grooming her and know that it was not true. Nowhere near the truth. And again, that is the result of being around women who lack their own self-worth, who are insecure, who are not accomplished enough that for them to be happy with their own existence. This is why they say if you're the smartest one in your group, you have to get more friends. Because what happens is if you're the most accomplished, if you have attained the most wealth, if you're the one that can do it, then others will at some point start to feel a little bit less than around you. No, you have to elevate your circle when God decides to elevate you. You have to. You have to. It is a must, at least for your peace of mind. So when I say I look at this differently, I try to apply the I try to apply life events, real life events, because these are real people. Even though we're looking at them on television, their actions and behaviors are real and going to have real consequences. And again, we're not just watching this at this moment to be entertained by reality. I've always watched reality TV not to be entertained, but to say to myself, how can I be a different type of woman? How can I do the opposite? Because we know for the history of reality TV and black women, it has not shown black women in the best light or in the most positive way. So when I do watch it, of course, there's a little bit, a tinge of entertainment there, but there's also a bit of, oh my goodness, sorrow there because it's like, that's not the type of woman I want to show up as. So I see what she did there. I'm definitely going to be mindful and I'm going to do something different. That is how I approach reality TV with black women. Miss Main Event said, Destiny said that, said the women don't respect male because of what happened in the limo. I believe that statement, and that could be the whole issue they have with male. A poor excuse, but the excuse they use. Well, if it happened in the limo, I'll say that. If that happened in the limo, why is it coming out now? We are 6 or 7 seasons in, and the type of hate and disdain that LaTisha has for Melody as well as Martell, because they are the biggest nemesis on the show outside of Destiny. They have been the biggest nemesis to Melody on this show. Why is it coming out now? If that did happen in the limo in the way that they said it happened, I think it would have been exposed or mentioned a long time ago. I, I believe something happened, but I don't believe it happened the way she said it happened. And I do think that if the details are to come out, they will come out in the lawsuit or in the discovery process. But at the same time, and I hear what you're saying, at the same time, Melanie was with her husband at the time. And I will never let anyone shame me for anything that took place in my marriage because you have other women doing worse. So for anyone to say that, okay, I don't respect you because you had a moment with your husband, that in itself is devilish. It's gaslighting. And it's like that girl can't do nothing right or wrong without them feeling away and finding an excuse for continuing to bash her and continuing to dishonor her and continuing to make excuses about her existence and how she shows up. So that is crazy to me because all of them women have been married and are married and have their own personal relationship with their husband that is private and personal. Okay, so trying to hold somebody accountable for private their private time with their husband, even though as a friend group, obviously they were all close enough for something to happen and it to just be between all of them and not go any further. It wasn't until Tisha Tisha let the best of her insecurity get to her and she decided, and like I've heard others say, her issue was not with Melody. Her issue was with Melody's ex-husband and what he said to her. So why would she come out and share private information that would be defaming to Melody's image and her character when your issue is not with Melody, it was with her ex-husband Martell? You should have given information that would expose Martell. They always think of a new lie every season. The goalpost moves 1,000 times a day when it comes to Melody. It's one lie, one issue after the next. So I'm not saying that what was stated is not true or not. I'm just saying the timing of it all. We have been through a lot with Love and Marriage Huntsville. We have seen her be attacked from every direction. So why is this coming out now? It looked like this would have been said the moment her Destiny fell out. When Mel exposed that she been paying Destiny's bills, let's have a real conversation right here. The moment Melody said, I mean, a bad friend, how am I a bad friend? And I done gave you $6,000 to help pay your bills and get an attorney. Destiny was mad about that. The Destiny that we know and see today, why didn't she respond and say, yeah, you've been paying my bills, but this, that, and the third? She could have responded with this information then. Why now is the question. Y'all can come up here and have a conversation. Y'all got me rolling now. Thank you for that, Miss Main Event girl. I love you. Yes, ma'am. The vitriol is it's off. Is they express towards me? It's infuriating. Like I told y'all, infuriating. That's the word. I could not come over here and do love and marriage Huntsville content like the other women. I have to give so much praise and respect to the other content creators because they do such a good job, like an excellent job delivering their content. But I wasn't able to. I was too triggered. Heck, I think I need to put a lawsuit on Network and Kingdom Reign for the mess that they put on TV that triggered so many of us. For me, I couldn't come over here with the content. I couldn't. I all I did was sit over here and just send prayers up for Mel and just watch everybody else deliver their content. But I could not do it, and I'm just being honest. So I'm here in this season because Mel has moved on. She's in another season, but I definitely want to come over here and have a conversation about sisterhood. We, as the 92% of us, as Black women as a whole, we have to do something different. The world, no, we're the last. We are the last to be thought about, you guys, sisters, queens. We're the last. We can't afford to have a war within the circle of Black women. So we have to, somebody has to walk away. Somebody has to walk away and say, you know what? I'm not even gonna entertain this. Let if somebody is listen, we got to let people fight with themselves at this point. We have too many important issues, too many important issues that we need to come together as women to and not be fighting each other. That's where I'm at with this. I'm so over. I would never do this. Like, if I cannot resolve an issue between me and you, it's not going any further because I refuse. I'm not doing it. I'm not pouring gas. I'm not pouring gasoline on an already, smoking pile. No, I'm gonna let you do that by yourself. If you can't talk, if we can't come out and have a civil conversation, there's nothing else to be talking about, you guys. So I'm gonna drop the link. This is my first time having a live conversation on this channel, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me. And if there's some gentlemen here, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. I just ask that we come with intelligent conversation. You don't have to be no scholar, but I do want to say just watch the language. Watch the language. And the stage is yours. I'm gonna give you time to get your point across and join the conversation. The panel is now open. Um, I probably will want you to turn your camera on in the back so that I can make sure you are a real person. That's all. I want to make sure you are here for the good of us. Um, and your opinion is your opinion. I get it. So thank y'all. Thank you. I appreciate you. Miss Deborah said, Dusty wasn't around when this was supposed to have happened, and you can tell Kimmy was pissed. Tissue is the worst, and why hasn't the entire mess of the adult field they discussed on a reunion? Yeah, we know why. We know why. And yes, it's like I believe 90% of that reunion was edited. What we saw in that second episode was highly edited. So I can't really come with a conversation or respond to that because I know so much context was taken out of that reunion. And it's hard to even have an opinion about it because, again, we know that Mel got up and went and got her phone. We know in her phone she keeps receipts. So, but that wasn't even showed on the reunion. So obviously she responded to somebody and obviously she shut something down, but they didn't show that on the reunion. And as far as Kimmy being pissed, yes, she was. Because here's the thing, no matter if we fall out, I'm still a woman. So I would never disclose anything that we have between when we were cool and friends and we have shared in vulnerable moments, even if we're not friends. There is a code to sisterhood. Please, somebody help me. There's a code to sisterhood that exists. When we're good, we good. And that mad day, we don't go out and tell everything that we know about that person. We move on like the women, the queen, the ladies that we are. You leave that in your past because thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Thank you all. You leave that in your past. Okay, we're not friends no more. We're not, there's some distance between us. Okay, cool. God bless you on your journey. Yeah. But to go out and just think of things to ruin somebody's reputation, that is the lowest of the lowest of the lowest. That is not even crabs in a barrel, you guys. That is craziness, in my opinion. But like I said, um, I definitely look at and approach sisterhood differently because I've always been taught that people can turn devil overnight. And what we have been witnessing is in this spiraling out of control, this demonic environment, we have watched from day one people turn on Melody and turn devil overnight. Like this is real. I feel terrible for Melody. I actually do, but I know she's going to be fine. It is many of us who stand on the front line for her, that go hard for her, that support her, that understand her movement. This is the thing, the movement of it all. Melody is does not move, even though she's cool, she's down to earth. She is very focused, family focused, focused on cultivating her children, focused on putting out civil citizens, educated young people, okay? She's focused on keeping her legacy alive. The reason why many of us love Melody is because she showed us, for me, talking as a divorced woman and other women who went through a terrible divorce that also resulted in public humiliation, Melody showed us she is the literal phoenix that rose from the ashes. What do I mean by that? She did more than turn lemons into lemonade, honey. She made something out of nothing in the midst of hell. In the midst of hell. So that is what Melody Cherie has shown many of us. I wouldn't say we worship her. No, we support her, we admire her, and we prayed for her, and we thank her for sharing her story and giving many of us the blueprint on how to move forward out of a terrible divorce, how to not give up. Same. I had to wait 10 minutes. Happy I say, oh, thank you. Yes, the price of the chat is 10 minutes, you guys. I have to do it that way so that I don't have random people over here. If they're gonna be come over here and be negative, they have to listen to me for 10 minutes. So thank you, Miss Deborah. Thank you so much. Y'all, the link is in the chat. If you do want to come up and share your thoughts and your opinions, I welcome it. I welcome it. But then, and here's the other thing too. Oh my God, I'm filtering. I'm filtering you guys. And how do the cast members and all the associated with this show n- not know you reap? Oh, they know. They know they're going to reap what they sow. It's just a matter of days. Like right now, we're experiencing the calm before the storm. If you don't understand, like it is so quiet right now when it comes to on TV and this particular show, it is simply quiet. I've never followed any of the cast members. Melody is the only cast member that I follow on social media. So I don't know what the rest of them are doing, but I do know in terms of the own channel and their other platforms, they're very quiet. And see, when you start talking about attorneys, that's normal for other parties to be quiet and they get together and they're trying to figure some things out. That's understandable. That's understandable. But there is a calm. This is a calm before chaos and all hell break loose because like I said, if I was male, I'm suing everybody that can be sued, honey. I don't care if you got a broke down brook in your backyard full of sitting on four flat tires covered in trees and limbs and old bushes. I want that too. Okay, your children's college education. Since listen, this is not being vengeful. I want that too. I'm showing everybody to the point that when y'all go to Huntsville, y'all gonna see them working regular jobs. Y'all gonna see somebody working at the car wash. Y'all gonna see somebody over there working down back at the movie theater. Y'all gonna see them out there working at the concession stand for a little bit of change at their children soccer game, whatever. That's how bad this lawsuit will ring through Huntsville, the production team, and on. I'm not playing. And many of us are women. And those of us who have children, we know how we are when it comes to them. I don't care if you have a problem with me. Have a problem with me all day long, every day. I'm good. I can take it. But you mean to tell me y'all gonna do stuff that affects the livelihood and the future of my children? Oh no, oh no, oh no. At the end of the day, because we know she has at least two children who are online that can access all of this information, they've been affected. Now she has to go and do a spirit check on her babies to see if they've come in contact with what was said, right? So now they're throwing them back into deep counsel, back into deep therapy to help them understand what was said, the reality of it all, and having to bring some type of therapeutic rapport to the hearts of those babies, right? This is just the surface. They have no idea what they have done to this woman and her children. Hell, if I was Miss Van, I would even hit a lawsuit if I was Miss Van. Y'all can get one from her mama too. Okay? Everybody. I would have my attorney sue on behalf of my four children. That's how bad this is. Everybody can get it. This should not just be a liability or lawsuit coming from Melody. It needs to come from all the children, her mama, and the dog if she got one. Because this is beyond entertainment right now. You messing with my namesake. And see, I already know the capabilities of my responses and how I react to mess. So I have personally removed myself from people that have tried to provoke me in the past because you know what? I know y'all can't see me in court. So you know what? I'm gonna be the woman. I'm gonna be the bigger person. God bless y'all on your journey. Y'all will see me when you see me. I speak when I see them, and I keep it moving. You're not gonna play with my babies and how I provide for them just because you feel a way about how I show up in life and how God has blessed us. Oh no, everybody can get a lawsuit. Since she on own network and Oprah like to give out cars, you get a car, you get a car. We'll be over here. You get served, you get served. Everybody can get a lawsuit, honey. And I ain't being funny, but I'm being dead serious right now. Miss Peggy says when teachers say this was Martell's idea, it was his idea. She meant it was his idea to put this on the screen, and he couldn't get the RP out there before, so CK helped him this time. Okay. Nobody on the stage confirmed anything that she said. Of course they're not, because if you confirm it, you can be held liable or you can be called to answer to it. Even the biggest liar on the show, the ex-husband was over there um saying he don't remember and stuff like that, you know. He would not confirm or deny a lot of things because he know he can be held liable. I heard that they are trying to say that someone leaked that grooming footage of the reunion. We know who did it. The only person that has access to the footage is production. That's where the footage exists. So that's why production Kingdom Reign needs to be sued. At all, Miss Deborah. At all. It doesn't matter if it if Melody told you it should have been left. I mean, listen, I'm not judging. Again, we don't judge, right? What's that new thing going around? We say something and we don't judge. This is one of those moments. I'm not ever judging Melody for being a good wife, for trying to please her husband, for taking care of her husband. That's her business. I ain't never trying to be in another woman's marriage like that. I'm never concerned. Even if it came across my desk, I would never repeat it because it came in my face and it's gone that quickly. I don't care what other women do with their husband. And normal women, we all feel the same way. That's your husband, you know. That's your husband. So I guess that okay. Here's my theory because obviously these shenanigans are allowed to happen, and somebody has to is responsible for letting this narrative play out, right? Let's see. I'm not judging what they say happened. I'm judging Destiny for the malicious way she tried to expose Mel. And that's what I'm judging right there. Destiny needs to spill her own tea about those. Come on now. It's interesting. Listen, my experience is this: the person talking the loudest has the most to hide. The person pointing all the fingers have the most to hide, right? This is why Mel is so calm and collected because she know they all have their own stuff. And Melody, if you're listening to this, baby, please do not feel bad about you acting in your marriage. We don't feel bad. We are not judging you. But what we are saying is we are so it's no but. We are so happy that you decided to free yourself from that miserable group of people. Marriage is a covenant and it's sacred. We all make mistakes when we move forward and do things, you guys. We all have made a mistake at some point in time. If this is true, her mistake was trusting the people around her. That's the only mistake she made. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. The only mistake Melody made was trusting the people around her. If what Destiny said was true, even though her raggedy tail self was not even there. That's the only mistake Melody made was trusting those people. Yes, she did. Say a lie from the pit of hell. Yes, ma'am. Listen. People will tell a lie and tell more lies to cover up the lie they told or to fix the lie that they told. We already know that. But what I want to know is how can we how are you affected by all of this when it comes to your sister circle, your friend group, your sorority, you know, even the women at your religious institution? How does this affect you? Because I'm affected. I really am assessing the people that I'm in contact with now to see who can potentially be the destiny of my group, who's potentially the Tisha of my group. and praying to God that I am not like either one of them. I see 150 people in here. I want to thank you all so much for joining this conversation today. Um, Also, I want to thank, I'll be remiss if I did not thank y'all for helping me get monetized on this channel. I've had this channel for quite some time. I just would do content and delete it and just not will be consistent over here. But I found out that you all love Melody Cherie, and it is my goal to bring you Melody Cherie content and the way that I want to express my love for Mel. I didn't want to do Love and Marriage Huntsville content. Like I said in the beginning of this live, it was too triggering, it was very toxic, and that's not the story that I always want to tell. I want to always hold Mel up in the best light because she is a good sister. She's displayed that no matter what production may have told her to do on camera or how to approach different scenes, Mel created her own narrative. She moved to the drum of her own beat. She did not compromise for the sake of a paycheck. She did not compromise for the sake of more TV time. But everybody else around her, they compromised. They sold out completely in the worst way. And I'll forever respect Mel for how she shows up on television for Black women. That we know Mel is a real one for that. She is definitely a real one. So thank y'all all for joining me today and hanging out with me and just giving me a chance to show you that I'm capable or I can or I am trying to be, you know, somebody that we can have those conversations with. I appreciate it, and hopefully I will not disappoint you. Thank you to Daughter of Israel for your super sticker. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So the link is down there if you all would like to come up. Oh, thanks, sis. Thank you so much. Give me one moment. I got you, Queen. There you go. So if you are, if no one wants to come up, it's 4:34 my time. I have about another 30 minutes or so to hang out. The panel is definitely open for you all to come up and share, or I'll just continue to go through the comments. But like so back to what I was saying, I definitely would like to see LaTisha's behavior addressed with the sorority that her and Melody both share. That was my main reason for coming to you all today with this live. I'm not sure if their sorors are out there listening to this. I know this is a hard thing to address, especially in entertainment. However, I would like for someone to hold LaTisha accountable in some way, shape, form, and fashion or area in her life. And if she's not ever going to be held accountable, I would love for the sorority that they both belong to bring LaTisha to the table to answer for her actions. Even if we never get to see them, I want somebody to hold her accountable for her actions because I'm not even in their sorority. And I am disgusted by how she has responded, showed up on television, displayed herself for the world to see. And this cannot look good for their sorority on a national basis. This can't look good for them. This can't be a good display. This is not what they want to show. And the reason why they both have poison signs on them is because envy and jealousy is a disease of the heart and mind. And if you're just getting here, I did show a video in the beginning of this live. I might play it before I leave, but Yes, and you can't fix it. It can't. Only person that can cure envy and jealousy is God. But they have to believe in Him first. And as for destiny, the reason why I wanted to come on here about her is because this woman is dangerous. She is she's dangerous. She's dangerous, and women like her are dangerous. Imagine having a friend or somebody around you that ate in your home, slept in your home. You maybe had just were around on a regular basis, all up into your intimate spaces of your life, and they turn on you, or the whole time that they're there, they really have this envy and jealousy of you, jealous of you, to the point that when you reject, because like I say, we when things don't come out right, we distance ourselves when we have the discernment to know that something is just not right. So the distancing begins. So when Melody distanced herself from this girl, she hates Melody to the point it's almost like a toxic. She's I want to say she's worse than Martell, or they're the same. Imagine a woman harassing you to the point that that there's a quote that says people that start rumors about women uh women that can't be them and men that can't have them. That's what the quote says, something like that. It says, be careful how you listen to gossip about other women. Lies and gossip are spread by women that can't be her or men that can't have her. And in this case, this is what we have witnessed. Destiny, for some reason, can't get her life together. Go back to the movie Life, can't get right. Destiny is the can't get right of this show. For God's sake, you know, for whatever reason her issues are. I don't have no sympathy right now based on her actions. I don't, and I never will. Whatever happens with her happens with her. But she is the can't get right of this show. This girl, this woman, she goes around and expects everyone to carry her financially. She expects to be everyone to give her grace for her negative and childish and immature behavior, her outbursts, her violence against other women. She has been violent a lot of times on this show. Y'all remember when she was violent towards Tiffany? Look, I know Tiffany is real slick in the mouth. Okay, but that comes with reality TV. But Tiffany is not a threat to nobody. Then she got into it with Stormy that one time, and she's always talking about what she gonna do to somebody. Girl, let me tell you something. At a certain point, grown women, we don't care nothing about no threat, because you put your hands on me, you better hope you get to court before I deal with you. All of that huffing and puffing. So imagine having someone up under you for quite some time, that you've had your children around, that's been through your house, that you rode in the car with. Next thing you know, they deliver the blow of what they thought was going to be the blow to your entire existence, your legacy, and your public image. This is what I do know. When you find yourself in a group of people, right, and for the life of me, you don't understand why this one particular person is always the most negative in the group towards you. And I'm sure Melody knew this. But for those of us who are not used to group dynamics, when there's always that one person who's the most confrontational towards you, has the most negative experiences towards you, please understand they are not acting alone. They're the ones who are acting on behalf of someone else. I would say the whole group is they're acting on behalf of the whole group, but for the majority or the leadership of that group, They are saying what other people want to say. They are doing what the other people want to do, but just don't want to be held liable or accountable for the act. So we all know at this point, Destiny's behavior um, is indicative of how other people wanted to hurt Melody. Let me get to your comments. Hold on one moment. Oh, y'all have been commenting. Oh, yeah, let me go back. Miss Peggy said, I don't think she had any friends in real life. She's not likable. She's clingy and she can't speak for herself. Do you have to get okay, you're talking about Tisha. I mean, even if she had friends, her mom ran them all away. Her mama ran them all away. I'm chatting while getting dressed for an award ceremony next time, though. Oh, yes, ma'am. Well, enjoy yourself tonight, and I hope that you have a great time and take a lot of pictures. I love ceremonies and formal events. So, sis, I know you looking good. Go ahead, Queen. Enjoy yourself. He said, I hope OWN and Discovery realize how important Mel and her supporters are to the channel. Um, I think they understand it. I think they understand, but they are about to really understand. I think they took Melody for granted. I think they took her impact for granted. And let's just remove the fan base for a moment. Even if the fan base for Melody did not exist, Melody, the person, the woman, the persona, and everything that she stands for is good for television. But if we want to take it a step further, we know that the executives don't like to put positive images of Black families, positive images of Black women, positive images of Black on television. So the network itself, whatever executives that exist, they have allowed the executive producer to continue with this foolishness and chaos. So, like Mel said in her live, I'm not coming for the small people. It's the people that allowed that snippet, that description to be put out publicly. So a lot of people like to make jokes about woke, black woke people. But the truth remains is, you know, there are entities out here that are attacking the very source of the Black community. If you didn't have a Black woman, you wouldn't have a Black nation. So, which is why we are at the top bottom of everything. When you destroy the mind of the Black woman, because the mind and the womb are connected, when you destroy the mind of the Black woman, you get women who are giving birth to pretty much animals, people with no morals, low morals, no wisdom, no understanding to pass down. You have a generation of young people right now that don't know how to do the simplest things when it comes to taking care of themselves simply because their mothers were not taught. So, the fan base aside, yes, we are powerful, right? But Melody herself, her persona, her image, and what she exudes to any ensemble cast, those people don't want that on TV. They want to see Black women twerking. They want to see us fighting. They want to see us speaking inarticulate, cussing people out. That's how they want to see us and portray us all over the world. Black women in America. So this is why I say we have to figure out how right now in this season we are going to try to fix this in our own lives so that it can continue to grow abroad and abroad and abroad and abroad. Because this right here, this what has taken place, it exists. If we are honest with ourselves in some of our lives, we have seen this before. I know I have. It's just happened. It wouldn't be on TV. It wouldn't be happening in real time if it was not something that happens all the time. Somebody, y'all better let me know what Destiny did. It just happened to be on TV, but we know at least one Destiny. Somebody who's capable of being a LaTisha. So this was another form of harassment. I hope that the district attorney has. Oh, absolutely. Here's the thing: has the clips, and everybody don't say. Here's the thing: Mel has been moving smart and stealth for a long time. We have heard Melody say she has had to do the show with security. She's had to do the reunions with security and her therapist on set. That's how hard it was for her to go to work. She has had to have security and a therapist with her at all times. Guess what? I hope she had her attorney at their reunion. If not the attorney, intern or somebody from her attorney's office, because that's how I would have showed up with the. I would have showed up at the reunion with my hair, my makeup, probably somebody from management, my security. Shout out to Jason, um, my therapist, whoever that was, and my attorney or somebody at a court reporter, because I would have had somebody back there typing up a whole transcript from the events from that day. That's just how crazy this was. And again, she didn't know how they would edit any of this. But I think from maybe the last reunion, perhaps, I would have said to myself, you know what, next reunion, I'll let my little attorney know if you can't make it, please provide me somebody who can come so that you all can be there and witness it for yourself because I don't trust what's going to be put out. It will be heavily edited and probably destroyed. Hmm. What y'all think about that? You said the clips can be put into transcripts that the attorney will use. Yes, if they hold on to all of the footage, right? Listen, she's going to use the excuse that she has mental health issues, but I still will not let her get away with that. If you have mental health issues, baby, we gonna go on ahead and admit yourself. If you don't admit yourself, I'm asking the judge to admit yourself because what you did was insane. I don't care nothing about that. When I say I don't care nothing about it, I don't. They need to be held accountable. What we are witnessing is character and heart issues. It's very heartbreaking to witness this from our people. We have to pay attention to the fruit of the tree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Destiny needs a blessing. There again, like I hate my heart broke for Mel, as a lot of us can probably say the same thing. Watching her having to look all of those demons in the face, right? And I'll say this, even when it was exposed or when it was disclosed that Tisha was the one to give Destiny that information, if you go back and look, her husband was absolutely disgusted with her. Marceau, if she thought she has had lost her husband before, trust me, that man is out the door. Love him or hate him, he didn't agree with that mess at all. And the fact that Tisha was the one that shared that information. Mm-mm. You said, I don't think Martell actually knew Destiny was going to say that about grooming because he also looked surprised initially and later he co-signed it. Yeah, that's because a person can hate you so much. that they will never show up, even though they know that you need a kind word. They will never show up for you. And that's how deep the vitriol he has for Melody, the mother of his children. Imagine for seasons and years allowing people to attack this woman. And of course, a rumor like that he thinks is going to help him in court with maybe, I guess he thought having her accused of that would have the family court maybe look into her as a mom and probably have some leniency on his case because of these rumors. No, it's not. God don't bless mess. Let's keep that in mind. God definitely don't bless mess. What would be justice for Mel is Destiny and her besties. Amen, Audrey. Audrey ain't playing. Listen. Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you're welcome. Martell is listen. It's gonna all come out, you guys. I'm confident that it's going to all it's too quiet. When it's quiet like that, people are either trying to get their stories together, i.e. own and Kingdom Reign. They're trying to get their story, gather documents so that they can get on the defense because Mel is on her offense right now. Well, um, she can sue them all. I think also I think the reason why they went so far and so low with Melody is because they're jealous of the wealth that she has amassed since being on Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? But the thing is, Melody, when she was married, they were already millionaires, right? The platform only increased her blessings. It expanded her blessings. Then when she got divorced, y'all, if y'all may not be aware, she lost everything. Martell didn't let her get nothing out the house, right? So she literally had the clothes on her back. Y'all remember her mom said that the children were sleeping on air mattresses? She didn't have anything. He wouldn't let her get her clothes, ain't no furniture. So she had to start all over again. Clothes, furniture, a house, pick up where she left off and try to build from nothing. That's why I say she made something out of nothing. The only thing she had was her effort, her drive, her ambition, and she manifested it all into an empire while still being on reality TV, going through a divorce, being attacked by her husband, being attacked and defamed by the entire cast, not having not one person, not even the men felt compassion for her to stand up and say enough is enough. Not even the executive producer on and no one on his staff. No one stood up for her. The only thing and again, many of us have gone through divorces. We have folded when it came to the adversity that divorce can bring. And through it all, Mel still rose from the ashes. So in terms of her lawsuit, everybody can get it. So them putting her in a position to sue is a way of them attacking her empire financially. So you think you all is? Let's see if you can afford all these lawyers. So you think you're gonna sit here and be the only one to be blessed off this show? Well, we're gonna put you in court. We're gonna make you sue us. So them forcing her to sue them is them attacking or showing just how jealous they was. Because in my opinion, if we're honest, if can I be honest? In my opinion, it wasn't until she announced that she is part owner of her network, Nubian Network, and I hope that you all have subscribed and downloaded the app on your smart TVs, Nubian Network. It wasn't until she put that information out and was so happy about it that we saw the executive producer CK started acting real funny towards Melody. He was upset that she got to another level. He began to compete with her outwardly. That's when he couldn't contain it no more because he was never in a favor, if you ask me. So when Melody took on became part owner of the network and had her own reality show, he saw that as her competing with him. He saw that as her preparing to walk away one day from Love and Marriage Huntsville. And he always knew that Mel was the root and the anchor of this show. So you done got your own network, you got your own reality TV show. Hmm. So Carlos went to work. That's when you saw the demons turn all the way up with no restraint. Nobody held them back. So them forcing her to sue is another way of them forcing her to utilize her funds that she has amassed on this show to try to keep her at a certain level. Because let's be honest, in my opinion, Carlos had got jealous of Melly because she had exceeded him in assets and wealth. And as far as he's concerned, he wants to be the one. How he looked being an executive producer and his talent has led him, has surpassed him, and the opportunities that come from being on this platform, he felt some type of way. And that's when we saw all hell break loose in a different kind of way for Melody. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Y'all can get up here and talk about it. Y'all can get up here and talk about it. But for me, that's when I noticed it. That's when I noticed it. It has been an agenda against us for far too long. It's being pushed in movies, music, and reality TV. Yes. And Melody is a smart woman. She knows that, which is why she wants to put Black excellence on film. That's why she wants to put Black excellence in every way, um, to make that type of content for us to watch. Yes, that is true. Thank you. Yeah. Martell did not, he was so smart till he was dumb. He didn't see that his marriage was a marriage that other people desire for themselves. And what people don't understand about marriage, the covenant of a marriage is stamped like fingerprints, right? The chemistry of a husband and wife cannot be duplicated with another husband and wife. When God is involved in that covenant, be it, I don't care how they got together, but for someone else to envy what you have with your husband or your wife, that's their problem. So the Scots envy the relationship, the marriage, and everything that exists, the partnership of Melly and Martell, and they went to work to dismantle it by any means necessary. And we are seeing the results of that. So she's in a catch 22 then. Black fairy teens. She, talking about destiny. You say you don't think she will use mental health because LB will use it against her in court, and she's on the verge of losing her baby at this moment. Listen, I don't feel no type of way. I don't. I don't feel no type of way. God bless LeBerick and all of his on his journey. God bless LeBerick. I ask that God continues to bless that man and give him everything that he needs to come out victorious in that court. When it comes to this matter, I don't feel, listen, I feel a ways, but I don't care. She put herself in this position. because of her envy and jealousy of a woman that did nothing but help her. Call me mean, I don't care. You said you cut a longtime friend off for about 10 years ago because she was compulsive flyer. I don't miss the relationship. No. As we grow on, you guys, it's just some things we don't care to be exposed to. I'm gonna talk about them on another day. I have something lined up. I have something lined up, but I am going to. I'm holding a whole nother live on them. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. For Martell to have a conscience in any of this, based on Destiny's behavior, for him to have a conscience, you know it was too far. Listen, this, like I say, in terms of LaTisha and her insecurity, you have to be so insecure to stay with a man who's told the whole world you from the other side of the tracks as if he was better. Uh, Baby, y'all would have saw me next season going through a divorce. Where he at? Wait, baby, we don't live together. The other side of the tracks. Huh. Imagine. He told the world she was from the other side of the tracks. He said that publicly. Imagine what he says to her behind closed doors. Y'all. Hmm. A mini wonder and he is disgusted. I would not be surprised that if this goes left, that he will head to, of course. And here's the thing. If he divorced her, she's gonna be left with that whole, she took out like $100,000 loan because he didn't have the credit or the business credit to get the loan. So she took out a minority loan so that they can start developing their business or whatever. That's in her name. So if that man leave her, she better have a good lawyer because he gonna take that damn loan with him or half of it. Mel has been mighty quiet. They all need to. Oh, absolutely. When Mel is quiet, we already know how she responds. Bet. 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 And she handles her business. I'm not concerned, but I do support Mel in whatever action she takes. The sorority approach is a great idea. Keep pushing it. It is. Listen, what LaTisha has done to Melody and for LaTisha to be her soror, this needs to change a lot of the protocols and practices. It would change. If I was on the board, I would definitely present that. Like, under no circumstances. I mean, your husband, that's different. That's different. We don't come we when it comes to marriage, we don't cross those lines. We don't expect you to, be at war with your husband and be uphold your sister over your husband. We don't expect that, right? Your husband and God. But at the same time, we do expect you all to be civil. We expect you all to be gracious. And we expect you all to show some type of sisterhood to one another when it comes to representing that group, that sorority. This is unexcusable. I know there are some sisters in this chat. Y'all are here listening. I need for you all to start, get active. If you support male, and even if you don't support male, in this whole thing that how LaTisha has showed up and represented your sorority, you all should have been writing to your leadership to intervene and bring this woman to council. We don't want this type of representation. I'm telling you. Hmm. Mm-mm. That's the wrong, honey, please. I would never be wanting to stand next to her if we had to handle business because I couldn't trust her. How can you trust somebody like that moving forward in your sisterhood? That's the question. Yes, I know. And I hope that they are acting. When I say acting, getting stuff done, and getting in motion to hold LaTisha accountable. And the goal is to remove her from the group. If she want to be over there with the low life people like Destiny, if she want to act like that, well, kick her out your group so she can be around as many low vibrational people as possible. But she is not a reflection of the sorority or the sisterhood. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. Because Destiny is the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the low, honey. And that is so dangerous. That is heartbreaking. It's dangerous. And when you find out, child, yes, ma'am. You see, I put that crown on her. Deborah said Mel was broken at first. Of course she was. Nobody gets married to get divorced, but a lot of times things happen and God will place us in a situation where we have to do something about it. We have no choice. But she fixed her crown and received God's grace and blessings tenfold. Absolutely. And that is why her representation on television moving forward for Black women was so important. That's why we love her. Not because we're trauma bonded. No, she actually showed us how to get up again. You know how many people get divorced and be devastated in their despair and depression? I'm talking about women. Don't they never recover from the divorce? But watching an actual woman do it, that gave so many women hope. That gave them motivation. She inspired them. So just sharing her moment with us, I thank her. I thank her. I literally went through a terrible divorce. I don't even want to make this about me. But one thing I did know how I felt in that divorce is that I would never recover. I felt like I was going to die. Of course I didn't because I'm here. God is good, right? But to actually see Mel not only survive but thrive after divorce, man, please. Thank you, Melody. Thank you. Yep. Right after she announced Nubian, that's when all the demons came out. They was like, you got a lot of nerve to be pursuing anything else other than Love and Mary Huntsville. Yeah, they really hated her for that. It was like the 47 acres all over again. Y'all, I love this conversation in the chat. Y'all are giving me so much life. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. I apologize. I do have to make a hard stop. Just to give you some insight about me, I am a mother of young adults. I used to be an empty nester until I became a foster mom. I'm the foster mom now of three of my grandbabies. So I foster my three grandbabies. I'm a licensed foster mom here in Florida. So I am in another season of my life where I am choosing to um, continue to raise the next part of my legacy. So I have to make a hard stop now so that I can go get them out of daycare. That's just some insight about me. I hope that y'all forgive me for bringing this to an end so sudden, but I cannot get through all the comments. I wish I could, but you know what? I'm gonna come back to you all tomorrow. Oh, y'all, I have 194 likes, 200 people here. Can I get six more likes to get me to 200 likes? Please, please, please don't make me beg. Don't make me beg. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. I need 200 likes. This is my first live stream, actual live on this channel outside of streaming. Um, like y'all always find me streaming the Instagram or the TikTok. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I appreciate this crowd. I am on another side of YouTube. I do have another channel that I keep up with college students and our young people in their highlights, their athletic highlights. I like to keep up with athletic scholars, um, and to encourage and add value into them. I one of the channels that the schools that I do support is the University of Colorado football athletics. So I am a Coach Prime supporter, and I consider myself to be a internet auntie over there on my other channel. So if y'all can find me in the link down there on one of these, maybe in my description, it says join me here. You'll find me over there. So whenever I'm not on this side, I'm definitely on that side over there, dropping videos, doing live streams as well. And since you all are feeding me, y'all monetize me in a matter of 4 days. I will never forget that, and I would never take that for granted. I'm definitely on right now. So you all will definitely see me more, if not just as much as they do, but more. Now that Melody is on her next phase, we are definitely going to continue to follow her, root for her, speak life into her next steps, as well as, find out how we can also create a community and be the blueprint in our own lives. So I appreciate you, ladies. I love you. If there's some brothers out there, thank you so much for joining us over here. And I really hate that I have to do this hard stop, but I do have to get ready to go pick them up 6 o'clock my time. But continue the conversation down in the comments after this video. And I'm going to see you all really soon because we're going to come back and address as you all said in the comments, Lou Nail. We're going to come back and address that, how that dynamic, how it shows up in our community. And we're going to fix some things. If not, we can't fix love and marriage, Huntsville. We can't do that. But the goal is to not repeat the toxic behavior that we see on reality TV in our own lives and to always be the change. You know, Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child has a gospel CD, and one of the songs that goes, "Change the world, don't let the world change you." And so that's how I approach reality TV. And one of my sayings is, "Information without wisdom is just gossip." So although I love the content creators over here, I love y'all. Everybody is different, but please give me time to grow on you. To everyone listening to me, and I hope that I can be a blessing to you, like you all have been to me. And with that being said, you all have a blessed day, and God bless you. And I will see you soon in the next video.
Envy is one of the worst kinds of spiritual diseases. Any one of us who have some gift or quality that others wish they had or want, it is so sad that people will literally hate you for what only God could give you. An envious person is really a devil. No matter what the color of the skin, if your heart is poisoned with the disease of envy, you have become in your person a devil. Why is that? Because you or those who are afflicted with that disease are not just hateful of the person whom they envy, but they are hateful of the God who gave that person that which they have, for which they are being envied. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that an envious person is the worst kind of person. That's a devil. Because an envious person will kill you. Now, that makes you a devil. Because if God is the giver of life and the giver of gifts, and someone is envious of you because of some gift that God gave you, and that envy reaches the point where it becomes hatred, and then hatred gives way to murder, then that person who would rob you of the life that God gave you because of a gift that God gave you, that's the worst kind of human being.